Welcome to the final panel of AUIS Career Week 2021. I'm the AUIS Dean of Students, Baran Kayolu. Today we have an esteemed guest, Ms. Hana Mistrih from Lafarge, Iraq. Ms. Hana is the country talent and recruitment manager for Lafarge, Iraq. A graduate of Damascus University, Ms. Hana entered Lafarge, Iraq as a recruitment assistant in 2010 and climbed the career ladder very quickly to assume her current senior leadership position in 2017. She previously worked with a variety of social entrepreneurship and youth engagement programs before joining Lafarge. Ms. Hana, welcome. I believe you're muted. I believe your microphone is muted. Yes.
Yeah.
Hi, welcome.
So much. Thank you so much, and thanks for the introduction.
My pleasure. Very briefly, I would also like to thank your company, Lafarge Iraq, for its support as a partner to AUIS Career Week 2021. Of course, Lafarge Iraq needs no introduction as part of the Swiss-French multinational company Lafarge Holcim, which is responsible for engineering and construction material projects in more than 70 countries across the whole world. It's a brand everyone is familiar with. And as AUIS, we are grateful for your support. Today, if I'm not mistaken, you will be discussing the issue of diversity and inclusion, especially gender diversity in the workplace, and what Lafarge is doing on those fronts. Is that right?
I will provide a slight brief about Lafarge Holcim as a group, and then Lafarge Holcim Iraq, and we will tackle the gender diversity, diversity inclusion as a global, and then if certain people will have a comment about gender diversity and our improvement in this regard, we will be happy to receive question and answer about this.
On that, before I turn the floor over to you, Ms. Hana, I would like to remind our viewers that if they have any questions, you're watching this on YouTube right now, you can use the chat function on the right-hand side of your screen, and I will be monitoring and moderating the event and raising questions, bringing the questions and comments that you may have to Ms. Hana's attention. So, Ms. Hana, please take us out.
Thank you so much, Brian, and thanks for the introduction. As you said, thank you for Lafarge. This is our commitment to our community, and especially AUIS is one of our great collaborative university. We are always happy to collaborate, to have people from the university, and those are our future talent and our future organization also. So thank you. Thanks also for all the opportunity you're providing us.
It's our pleasure.
Okay. Thank you all for attending, and I'm happy to join you today. Hopefully I will be very quick, and then I will go together with you answering some of your questions, whatever the time allows us. As a small introduction, again, I know Baran has introduced, but my name is Hana. I'm the country talent recruitment manager of Lafarge Iraq. I have been working with the group for the past 10 years, exactly in Iraq for almost more than 5 years now. And here is it. Before starting talking about diversity and inclusion, I will introduce Lafarge group. And so for the people who did not get the time or the chance to see Lafarge or to work for Lafarge, so at least they will have a little bit of introduction. Lafarge Holcim is a world leader in building material. We currently work on 4 large segments, which are cement, aggregate, ready-mix, and product solution. Our fifth segment is coming or has started a few days back, which is the roofing segment, and not yet implemented in Iraq, but started with the group. Lafarge Holcim is a global leader in building material solution for the past 100 years. Knowing that, Lafarge Holcim started in Iraq or accessed the Iraqi market in 2008. We currently operate 2 segments in Iraq, cement and ready-mix. Our 2 cement plants, known as Bazian cement plant here in Sulaymaniyah and Karbala cement plant near Karbala city. And our ready-mix is all over Iraq, Baghdad, Erbil, any city where we have project. It's a different type, it's a small plant, so we exist all around Iraq. Slide. We are currently operating in 75 countries. Our workforce is 72,000, and all our employees are committed to improve quality of life across all our country and all our operating units. We believe the future is not written, but it's built. So our employees are working together to build a world that is greener, smarter, and for all. How do we do that? Greener through our environmental activities and our greener product or our green products. So we always build, we always innovate different product than the market. We try to make sure that we take care about environment whenever we work on creating a new product. Smarter through our digital solutions and all our improvement in the digital segment. And a community for all is through our work with community, meaning our plants community, our area community, or our universities, wherever community you can consider as any stakeholder that we work and operate with. As I mentioned earlier, we are available in 75 countries. That includes Middle East, North Africa, Latin America, and Europe. Through this distribution, we leverage the benefit of a multicultural organization, and we endorse the benefit of sharing our expertise together and sharing all our experiences and the know-how. Here I come to the main topic, or to one of our core value and important topic at Lafarge. You all know, and you may definitely know how risky our operation. We operate in a heavy industry, then risk is always there. However, Lafarge has built many standards. Lafarge Holcim as a group through the 100 years has built lots of standards, and one of its important standard is health and safety and environmental standard. Our aspiration is to conduct our business with zero harm to people and to create a health and safety environment to our employee, contractor, community, and customer, while minimizing our environmental footprint. We do not compromise on health and safety. We're always committed to ensure all our employees will go back to their home safe and sound. That's why we never denied that our business is risky, but we are proud that health and safety is the heart of our business and the umbrella under which we operate. Whenever we talk health and safety, we never forget environment. We know that the segment we're working on, or the industry we're working on, is a very we create dust, we create waste. So we always take care of, we always build a project where we want to go greener. We build, and when we leave our area greener than we had started with. These 2 photos I'm sharing are not from Europe. They are the photo of our old quarry in Bazian. This is how the quarry looks like nowadays. And I mean, I'm happy also to share one example of our commitment to the environment, which is one of our newest projects that we started last year was coordination with the Pharmaceutical Syndicate of Sulaimani, which is the co-processing expired medicine and KRG. I mean, we can talk further and further about too many projects that we have implemented in Iraq or around the world, but I just wanted to share what concerns the KRG because we're talking in this area. However, if there is more question, we can probably tackle and give more examples on what we do to take care about environment, be it our tire projects or our co-processing project or wherever, all our projects that we're doing in Iraq. Very important, as I said at the beginning of the webinar, our community. As a responsible company, we are committed to make a real positive difference for people and community wherever we operate. While we are a global business, we operate very locally in each of our 75 markets, employing local people, and working under the compliance of our local law, respecting the human rights, implementing sustainable procurement, and establishing good and open relation with our community. Are at the core of our business. In Lafarge, Iraq, we have the same commitment to the community around our plants. We have implemented several projects that we are proud of as a company and as a group. Some examples of these projects are all the vocational projects that we have offered to our community, with sewing project, the mobile reparation project, the hairdressing project, and then, I mean, clear to mention building schools, roads, clear water channel. During the past years, Lafarge has contributed in many projects that helped in the development of the area where we operate. That's a brief. I tried to be very quick, trying to explain what a big group as Lafarge does. I will be, you can all check our communication channel. If you want more information, you can check our colleague from AUIS who works with us for more information, and we are here always available for extra information, be it at the end in the Q&A or later after the webinar. But here I come for the main topic of today's webinar, diversity and inclusion. And as you know, I'm very grateful to use this opportunity to discuss diversity and inclusion. One of our very important objective and pillar for 2025 objective of Lafarge. As a group, we are committed to build a better world for people and for the planet. So it's fundamental to our future and our success as a company to bring in a new perspective, and we do this through diversity. Having an inclusive workplace is a fundamental to retain our diverse talent. What we have seen in our industry, and we keep always saying, it's always difficult to increase and diversify our workforce. That's why we believe this is a journey that we actually need to focus more on, and we need to build during a long period. It's not one action, and it's not one topic to tackle, one project to tackle over a short period of the time. We believe that we do have a diverse team, but how do we keep our diverse team inclusive? And inspiring future generation, how do we do that is through inspiring future generation and hiring a diverse talent pipeline are key to become the employer of choice, also for those that do not traditionally consider a career in building solution. We offer our employees opportunity to build and advance their career by promoting access to education, training, and networking. So by saying this, we're not only working as an external or with external people to hire and to hire only. We also make sure that we work to make our organization at the top and make sure people are here to stay and not here to leave, not here for a short period. We also make sure that our people are really included, are really with us in every decision we make and every change and development we do. Okay, I only have this. I don't have the slide. I missed my last slide. However, I'm happy to. I mean, that's it for me. If you have any question through your YouTube channel, I'm ready to answer.
Thank you so much for that presentation, Hana. Let me see. We do have a question actually. There's a question about internships. I'm guessing for the summer. Does Lafarge have internship opportunities for young folks to work during the summer? From Misara Ismail, one of our students. That's the first question I got. I want to ask you some of the broader questions, but since you asked if there are any questions from the chat, I thought I'd go into that right away, and then I'll ask my own questions.
So a quick and answer and definite answer, yes, we do always. However, that might be a question for related to 2020. In 2020, we had tried to minimize the internship opportunity because of the current situation of COVID. So even if our employee were trying to minimize the interaction, and you know, internship is all about interaction and learning. So if we're not able to interact in the side, we unfortunately, because of this pandemic, we could not receive as many internship as we had in the previous year. However, we kept trying to have, and I think at the current stage we have 5 or 6. Some of them are AUIS students, but I mean, to our bad luck, we could not have the same number as we used to have previous years.
I appreciate that. My question was, as your presentation touched upon this, and I was hoping that you would elaborate on it. How does inclusion and diversity mesh with and enhance the performance of a company like Lafarge Iraq, Lafarge Holcim? Obviously, you are a publicly held company. You have shareholders, and you're responsible to these folks, and they will expect, you know, the company to hit key performance indicators. So, as you are aware, some people who are not happy about the discussion of issues of inclusion and diversity always come back with this, as if to say that diversity and inclusion are inversely correlated with performance or competence. That if you focus on one, you won't be able to get. If you want to focus on one, you're not going to get the other, and if you're going to focus on the other, you're not going to get the other one. And I, first of all, I tend to disagree with that. But I was wondering, you know, how you would respond to that, and how diversity and inclusion meshes with the two big things you discussed so far. Lafarge Holcim being a power player, let's face it, in the global construction business on the one hand, and doing so with a view towards corporate responsibility. How does diversity and inclusion work with those two things?
I mean, very simply to say, our success comes from our people, and it's evident that there is it's not limited to any categorization. So what we wanted to have, and why we always say we need a diverse team, is because we need to bring a diverse perspective to our team. And I mean, we always believe that we work in a diverse community, and that's why we want to reflect that into our organization, so we are able to always support our customer, our community, and our government. And how do we do that? Through our team, our engineers, for our people who took all the steps with us and who built their career with us as a diverse, as a multicultural organization, if I may use the other term, or diversity. I don't know if I have answered the question correctly, or you want me to elaborate more.
No, I think that's a very good start. So to follow up with that, with the slide that I'm looking at right now, and let me check, I believe that's also the one that our viewers are seeing right now. The middle portion there, for 42.5% of engineering graduates to be women is something that would have been unthinkable when I was in college 20 years ago. But as you mentioned, only 11% of Lafarge Holcim workforce are women. So what do you think is the problem there, and what could young women such as Ms. Sarah Ismail, who are interested to work in at a place like Lafarge or a similar company, do to change, that waterfall, that big drop from 42.1%, 42.5% to 11%? How could those two numbers start looking comparable?
The reason why we do have the slide, or why we did look at this number of engineering women engineers graduated in the world every year, is that to answer our question on why we do not have more women in our organization. When we say we have 11% of workforce women, it's not only in engineering sector, it's all over the organization. And if we look into the figure more, I'm sure our engineering, women in engineering function are even less, the percentage of women. However, that's what we are trying to change, and it's been I think almost 3 years and more, and this is why we choose to mention the topic today. We are trying to change the perspective why people, or women, if I may say, always stand behind accepting to work in a heavy industry or in the building industry as Lafarge. That's the stereotype, and Lafarge Holcim always played a role model on changing the perspective and the stereotype of job stereotyping. So we are here. We started to change, and even in Iraq, I would give a very fresh example in Lafarge, Iraq. Last 2 months, we have hired the first female in our security department. I think that's a step forward towards breaking the stereotyping. I would say that we have progressed, but we're not yet there at the level where we want to really include everyone in our operation. That's it from, that's what I could answer. I can give all of examples that we face day to day, because I work in recruitment, and I do identify everyday reasons on why we're not able to see all those graduates in the heart of our organization. Not talking only from a gender perspective, female, even male, sometimes they have a barrier of working in the industry field, of learning the new sector and starting career from the beginning and building up from it. So
that ties very nicely to the question by a viewer who goes by the moniker Yadinator197. He or she says, I guess it's a he because of Yad, anywho, who says, thank you for your presentation. How do people with civil engineering background fit in with your company? What is the minimum years of experience, time, etc., to work at Lafarge? Thank you. So going along with your last point, that inclusion is not even just a women's issue, a gender issue, but overall, people's perhaps hesitancy to join this industrial sector, to join the construction business, if you will. What would someone who is interested in working at Lafarge look out for while they're developing skill sets, and then before they apply for an internship, as Ms. Sarah asked earlier, or as Yadinator 197 is asking now? What should they do given their background? What sorts of recruits are you looking for? Again, with a view towards breaking some of these numbers. Because I can tell you, as the Dean of Students, sorry, Hana, as the Dean of Students, I know for a fact I'm responsible for our career services efforts, and our students are very interested in working for multinationals like Lafarge Wholesale. So I would be grateful if you can share your wisdom with us.
Sure. If you want me to answer Riyadh at the beginning, so Riyadh is a civil engineer, as I understand, right?
I'm guessing very likely.
I've been working for the group for 10 years, and I worked in recruitment for 10 years. We hire from all educational backgrounds. Yes, we might say the ratio sometimes is more for a mechanical engineer or production engineer, but we have also people who with a different studies background. So civil engineer, they have a big portion in our needs, be it in ready mix business or in cement business when we talk sales, commercial, or after sales customer support. So what do they need to do to be with us is probably show up for an internship and start the career from the beginning, learn the business with us, or I mean it depends on the role that we announce. I can't say a specific set. Well, what I can say, you need to develop your skills. You need to develop that skills that matches your education background. In Iraq, I would specifically say you need to develop your language skills. I would give just a sample barrier that we face in Lafarge, Iraq. We from Suleimaniye operate or support a business for all over Iraq. So we always, when we advertise, we mention that we need candidates who speak the 3 languages spoken in Iraq, which is Arabic, English, Kurdish, Arabic, and English. And that's where we face some of our challenges. We always have one of these missing. And this is one of our very important criteria being for the past 3 to 4 years. And I think we will continue in it. So people who needs to improve or who needs to get more chance in hiring with Lafarge or with any other organization, I believe they will need to accelerate working on their skills. In relation to their study, I would advise that. There was a second part of the question. I don't remember. If you can ask me again, I would.
No, I feel like I forgot the question too. That's always a risk when one talks too much, as I often am prone to do. Let me go back to the other question. No, yeah, I feel you answered both parts, which was. What are the skill sets, and especially for a civil engineer to apply and work for a place like Lafarge, but also for women to do that? And you answered much of that question earlier. My sense is that of how to go about looking for the right skill sets and developing the right skill sets, perhaps even before they apply to a company like Lafarge, is perhaps starting now to look for the job announcements that you make. Perhaps you mentioned at the beginning of your presentation that internship opportunities were more limited, but then perhaps looking at the full-time job announcements and comparing themselves with what the position asks for, and then therefore figure out how they can bridge the gap between their current skill sets and the point that they want to get. You clearly mentioned the language issue.
In fact, we in Iraq have 1,500 employees currently as we speak. So you can imagine the number of roles we have in the organization. So if I say one direction that this is the set of skills that you need to develop, I would be unfair for the rest of the role. So I cannot really specify. I just wrote something very generic that I face every single day. But however, we have people in operations, so probably you need to improve product know-how, understanding what is the cement product, knowing more on how to produce cement, learning more. We are in a technology world, so I am always surprised by people who comes to the interview and are not able to answer the very basic question about their core study, where like, what is cement? Or what's ready mix? I mean, that I would consider for any applicant as a base, and I would advise everyone to really look at it. A second comment I would advise, what I would say, and this is a comment I did not receive only from myself as a recruiter, but also from all hiring manager, and that stands for all fresh graduate and new student, is that they need to accept that university give the methodology or give like the theoretical part of the learning, but on-the-job training is the most important and valuable thing that you can have as an asset in your career development. So accept to start from the beginning, as Sarah asked, looking for an internship. That's a very good start as an intern and progress with any organization, Lafarge or other than Lafarge. You might, AUIS student or any attendees now might know people who are from AUIS or other university graduates in Iraq who started with us as an intern or as a volunteer or in a vocational program, and now are at the top of our organization, part of our leadership team. So, starting from the beginning, there is no harm. It's just the best idea to start to learn more and build the great assets in your for your career.
Wonderful. There's an even broader question raised by Fatima Mazen, who says that, well, we're discussing diversity, but how do we break the barriers that society builds in front of women? And I'm not trying to put all of that on you in the next couple of seconds, Hana, but what are some of the, and I'm genuinely interested to hear your thoughts. And if Lafarge Lafarge Iraq is specifically focusing on this issue too, of improving gender inclusion, diversity in the company through engaging the various communities, say in Bazian or down in Karbala or in the various construction sites where you operate. How is the community being engaged, or what do you think we can do to have buy-in from our communities to improve diversity and inclusion in a company like Lafarge, but also in other companies, in the nonprofit space, in educational institutions, so on and so forth? I'd love to hear your thoughts.
So I'll take it in two parts to answer the question by the panelists. I mean, we as an organization, we have a very limited role. We cannot really change the society. We can play a role trying to change the society. I believe you know very well that we as an organization, you as a university, we always collaborate together to do these type of changes by growing people. Lafarge always train people. We have Lafarge University, and this is we don't limit ourselves to our technical training and programs. We always give like soft skills program, and that's where we try to build in our people the idea to improve, to go out of the box, to operate outside the stereotype that we normally society forces us to operate with. So we as an organization, we don't do anything. What we are committed is to create a policy and make sure that these policy respects everyone and allow everyone to be part of our organization and to progress, to develop, and we try to retain people in this way. So we build a policy, we respect the policy, we make sure that our people follow this policy respectively, so we retain everyone in our organization. But the responsibility, or the biggest part of the responsibility, is on the individual. So people want to believe in themselves and want to be aware on what they would like to do in their life. And as an organization, we can just say we are ready to help you doing whatever you would see yourself doing in the future.
As I just in the chat box, I just wrote to the questioner, Ms. Fatima Mazen, be the change you want to see in the world. It's one of my favorite maxims of all times. You can only change the world by changing yourself first.
Exactly.
And then the people around you. And then it will hopefully create a ripple effect.
Exactly.
Unless there are any more questions, I'm going to start wrapping up this wonderful discussion with Ms. Hana Mistrih from Lafarge, Iraq. She is the country talent and recruitment manager for Lafarge, Iraq. And of course, Lafarge, Iraq is a partner in AUIS Career Week 2021. We are extremely grateful for your support, and Ms. Hana, for your time. I will let you see if there are any other questions. There are none. Hana, I will let you conclude. Usually the panelists, the guests themselves, end on the best notes, and these things work best when I talk as little as possible. So please.
You have ended it with a very nice quote. However, I will also share with you a very important quote that in relation with the last question. But before going into this, I would like to thank AUIS for the opportunity and for the good preparation. Thanks everyone, and good luck in your career search or in your career progress. The quote I would like to say: diversity is being invited to the party, but inclusion is being asked to them. I don't know if that explained what we wanted to share today, but good luck everyone, and let's dance together.
Thank you so much. This has been wonderful. All the best, and we will hopefully keep in touch.
Nice weekend. Bye.